this is Lachette, and I'm back with a new video, and these are my November favorites. Um, this is weird. I don't like my coloring here. Anyway, I'm all bundled up because it's cold. The heat is not on. I have to keep my door closed because of ambient noises and the rest of the apartment. And, if the heat was on, you'd be hearing the clanging and hissing and whatnot of the great old American steampunk heating system. But yeah, so anyway, let's jump right in because I had lots of favorites. So first off, Jessica the Story Witch. I have mentioned her before in a previous favorites video, and she's still one of my favorite people on the internet, period. But for October and November, and I waited until now to talk about this. She's been doing this series, how to set up your witchy bullet journal. Now, you guys know I have a bullet journal, and it's getting witchier and witchier as time goes by as I combine more and more of my Book of Shadows, grimoire stuff with my planning, because I am a planner addict, stationery addict, and having things organized and writing things down are a core part of my being. So I've been enjoying this series. Wish I had thought to do it myself first, but that's okay. It is what it is. I've learned a lot, and I participated in the live show, which was I think the day after Thanksgiving, for those of us here in the U.S., where we did our annual setup, or started doing our annual setup. I shared some of my pictures on Instagram, but back to Jessica. We have a hashtag for when we share our stuff, called Jessica Made Me Do It, and that is okay. She also introduced the idea of the depth year to me and various others. I will talk about that in my 2019 goals video. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna call it, and I'm still like figuring out what I'm gonna put in there, because now I think about it, I'm shoving a lot of topics in there. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Also, the videos that have come out the last couple of months from Jessica with regards to her ABCs of Modern Paganism, which is somewhat similar to my YouTube Pagans ABC series. Hers are more streamlined and topic-wise, but they got me thinking so many thoughts, and I absolutely love that so much. I like thinking, considering, having my perspective changed conscientiously. I'm no big fan of change when it's forced upon me. I'm like pretty much everyone else, so there's that. Tea break, excuse me. Damn it, the heat's coming up. Shouldn't be saying damn it. Anyway, next, books. I tried to participate in nonfiction November. And also Tome Topple, but didn't go super great. But I did read some pretty good books this month that I might not have otherwise. They were on my to be read list, the 500 plus one I have on Goodreads, but God knows when I would have gotten to them otherwise. So first, At Home by Bill Bryson. That was my first ever audiobook. I love that book so much. First of all, it's narrated by Bill Bryson. I just love his tone. He's an American that moved to England, lived there, got married, had several kids, and relatively recently moved back to the United States. But I think at the time that this book came out, he was either still living in England or just very recently back to the States because his English accent is still fairly strong. So like sarcasm and dry humor comes through so perfectly with an English accent. It just makes everything more hilarious. But anyway, At Home is basically this epic research project into the home, specifically his and his family's home in an old vicarage in, I don't even remember what part of England, but some shire or something. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't have it in front of me, and I had already returned the audiobook. But I love knowledge for knowledge's sake. I like all of the historical background on things like beds, plumbing, architecture, vicarages, um, things like the electricity and how we got to the point where we have a ton of plates, spoons, forks, knives, cups, and whatnot on our formal dinner tables, and why. And it's just, there's a lot of history about individuals. Some stuff I knew because there are tie-ins to American history. With the Industrial Revolution, there's a lot of stuff that Americans invented, and that is covered in our American history. And my previous boss did cover and read a lot of that stuff in his work, so I know a lot about like Thomas Edison and his whole life. But then, you learn things like what's the biggest personal home in the United States, and it was created by Thomas Jefferson, but he never lived in it because he died before it was completed, and it's kind of this architectural marvel. But yeah, it's just a lot of information, none of it really necessary for my continued existence, but stuff I love knowing now. And it was very entertainingly presented, so I might have given that a 5 stars because I loved At Home. Can't wait to read his next book on my to be read list. Second, Still Waters, and darn it, I don't have the title of the author written down. Hold on, guys. Okay, so it's Still Waters by Vivica Stem, and this is a book translated from the original language, which is, oh my god, what? Swedish. It's Swedish. I don't know what's wrong with me. I like lost it. So it's set in a town, in a one of the islands of Sweden, and it's what they call like a vacation resort town. Like once mostly summer vacation is over for the rest of the country, then it goes back to just being the locals, of which there are a couple hundred. And this was kind of a little bit of a thriller, but on the laid back side. I love this. I got this book. It was one of 7 free books offered from Kindle as part of their celebration for International Women's Day. And so I got 7 free books from 7 women authors from different countries around the world. And I finally got around to reading one, and I enjoyed it. And then I found out it's part of a series. So this is my luck because I love series, and this is how they suck me into reading more books. I didn't love this book. I don't absolutely need to read the next one, but I'm really interested in doing so. The killer, like finding out who does it wasn't super satisfactory. This was more of a character focused book. Though there were, especially at the very end, some really like high tense action. Not fight action, more like just shit, someone's gonna die action. But I enjoyed it. It was really well written, and you wouldn't know that this was a translation from another language, which I appreciate. Though I am always concerned about that, things missing in translation, but this is a fiction book, so I can let it go. So yeah, check out that book. The last book I'm going to talk about is Crooked Kingdom, which is by Leah Bardugo. I think I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. And it's the second book in the Six of Crows duology, which I believe is part of the overarching Grishaverse. So, like, two years ago, I read Six of Crows as part of, like, some Goodreads book club thing. Had never heard of it, didn't know what I was going into, but I was interested in reading it because it was put off as a heist, and there was a heist. It was an epic heist, and I wound up absolutely loving Six of Crows. And I don't know where my life went because I forgot up until recently that there was a sequel, and I wanted to read the sequel. So I read the sequel, which was Crooked Kingdom, and I loved it. I cried at the end. I'm so upset. But I definitely need to read the other books in the Grishaverse, which I don't believe have anything to do with these particular characters, though there is a book coming out early next year that have some of the characters, at least from this book. But there's just a bit of a heist in here, or an attempt at one. Just a lot of subterfuge. There's a really dislikable bad guy. He's definitely going on my love to hate bad guy list. Because what? Even though he has some heartwarming moment at the very end, or humanizing, I should say, moment at the very end. I don't care because he is not the important character. My Six Crows are, or were. But yeah, I don't know how to separate emotion from this one to like make this right. Every time I thought I knew where this was going or where the focus of this book was, it went somewhere else. And that was not where I thought it was gonna go. There were times where I was like, oh, this is gonna be predictable, and it wasn't. And it wasn't in such a way that she wrote it where she was purposefully trying to be convoluted with no sense or rhyme or reason just to make you confused. No. And there's definitely one serious dead end in that maze of plot where it's just like, damn, there's no coming back from that. So yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. But At Home and Crooked Kingdom were over 500 pages. So those were my two tome topple books that I read in the last 2 weeks of November. And At Home being nonfiction, that was my only nonfiction November read. But yeah, I'm happy with those. Next, favorites, Owls and Indigo on Instagram. I love her plan with me's. They're super... I just feel very witchy watching them. I feel like a mystical being with all kinds of powers at my command when I watch her plan with me's. And they're short and to the point and yet detailed. And if you are a witch and looking for other witchy bullet journalers or witchy planners out there, definitely check out Owls and Indigo. And also, I haven't been able to check out her website offerings just yet, but her Instagram, I love the quotes that she uses, just the coloring. It's all very soothing and like, I can help you. And I absolutely love it, and she's very genuine and friendly, so guys, go follow her because she's cool and friendly, um, and knowledgeable and very helpful for just self-care and witchcraft in general. Next, I have to mention this, Sex in Color on Instagram. This guy, he doesn't run it by himself, but I went to school with him in college, and he's one of the most genuine people I have ever met. And the fact that he has created this website, this collective, basically to, you know, be aware of our bodies, be aware of sex, not to be ashamed of it and the various ways it comes, again, both our bodies and sex, sexual contact, and just to make yourself more self-aware, more comfortable with yourself and with other people while still being safe. I want to say, you know, the community, the BDSM community is safe, sane, and consensual, which I think should be like everyone's life motto personally. And this is not, but Sex and Color is not just, you know, BDSM. It's for everybody. It is safe. They do videos and skits as well as meeting, demonstrations, just so much content, and you know, of course, body positivity imagery and quotes, and sexual positivity imagery and quotes, and it's all tasteful or not. Everybody's taste is different, obviously, but Sex and Color definitely deserves the props, the accolades, the promotion, because they are doing something great, and I am lucky that I know this person and still occasionally bump into him at the local Michael's or whatever store. So check them out on Instagram and check out their website. Next, I should have said this after Owls and Indigo. Owls and Indigo, if you are not in this group, because I don't think you are, Bullet Journaling Witches on Facebook is one of my favorite Facebook groups of all time. I realized here in November, I've been doing these videos for 11 months, and I only just now realized I never talked about Facebook groups that I enjoy. Bullet Journaling Witches is it. It's where both Jessica, the Story Witch, and I share our videos and other stuff. It's where we all get tons of ideas and sharing. A couple of people have created subgroups and other groups for learning about witchcraft and stuff, if that's your thing. But yeah, creating your own spreads, seeing how you want to incorporate witchcraft into your daily life and planning is something that's important to me. And if it's something that, you know, you want more in your life, then you should check out Bullet Journaling Witches. It's what it says on the tin, basically. Next, moving off the internet really quick, Mrs. Jessie's Curly Pudding here. I've been loving this stuff. I got this at a this natural hair care, self-care event in the spring, and then for some reason I forgot I had it amongst all the other samples and things that I bought at the event, and I love it. First of all, this smells really good. It's kind of grapey, hence the light purple color. It's the best darn curl cream, period. I don't know about that, but it keeps my curls soft and detangled for at least 2 days, and that's just, with like a quarter size dollop or a tablespoon worth. And so yeah, this 2 ounce is great. I'll be honest with you though, Miss Jessie's is expensive. So I don't know if I'll be going out to buy more of this unless I can find 2 ounce jars. But if I don't want to say if money's no object, because it's not the most expensive thing in the world for natural hair care, but it's up there. But if you find it on sale, do try it. It is really, really, really great. And like I said, I like the way it smells too. So last but not least, what is taking up a chunk of my November in the last week of October, the chilly adventures of Sabrina. Woo, I gave a whole like epic response on someone's video about this show. This came out, I think, the week of Halloween or Samhain. So not the day of, but a couple of days before, I believe. I kind of binge watched the first 9 episodes that week and then didn't watch the 10th episode until like the day after Thanksgiving or something like that. So I love this show. It is really great. I love how macabre it is. I like the duality of it being set in present day but still having this 40s and 50s vibe to the decor, the outfits that they all wear, some of the slang they use, the architecture and all of that stuff. I really appreciate that. And it's kind of dark. And my favorite episode, I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's the Feast of Feasts one with Prudence was going to be sacrificed, and that was a teeny tiny spoiler. But no more from there. I'd liked all of the drama, like all the drama. Prudence is my favorite character, so like all of the drama. I love the drama. But things got revealed and things were said and blah blah. But also, it's roughly about halfway through the series, or the chapter 1 that's up right now on Netflix. What I really appreciate is how Sabrina and Prudence kind of start out as like opposites in every way, and they've just started realizing how much they have in common. But also in that particular episode, their discussion of faith and belief really resonated with me. And I am not a Satanist, and definitely not a Satanist or any of its offshoots expert from outside. But from my knowledge and research, it gives a pretty good basis for how modern Satanism works, minus all of the magical realism stuff that doesn't really happen, the fantastical things that don't happen in the real world. But it's pretty good without, the plot It's that whoever they have on staff giving them occult information is pretty good. Um, Obviously, some things are stretched for entertainment purposes, but the show is a pretty good show. And it gives you some thought pieces. And Sabrina is a good love or hate character. Um, she's a 16-year-old girl, so I gotta give her some kind of leeway. But yeah, so those are my favorites for November. I hope you enjoyed this long ass video as usual. I will see you guys for my December favorites next month. And the next video should be coming in a couple of days. Bye.